Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here with Jordan Carr, and we're going to be talking about how you can level up your social media skills. Jordan teaches one of our classes called Social Media Basics. We'll dive a little deeper into what we can learn from the course, hear a little bit about Jordan's past with Oasis, how he's evolved with the company, and what continues to inspire him to teach our technology classes here at Oasis. So Jordan, just to start, I know you've been with Oasis since 2017, and since joining, you've been a really integral part of us moving forward with technology and helping people learn how to master technology. Can you share more about what inspired you to originally join Oasis and what continues to inspire you?
Yeah, so when I first started with Oasis, I was recently done with grad school, and I was helping take care of my grandpa, who had a stroke and was near the end of his life. So for about 5 years, would see him every single day, and I was in and out of the senior living communities where he lived a lot. And I noticed that there were a lot of people there that just didn't have the support from family, and that just seemed like an awfully sad way to live. So I feel like Oasis really gives you the alternative to that, so you can age at your own pace, in your own way, in your own place. And helping people stay connected to technology is a big part of that nowadays.
As you continue to teach these classes, what are those moments that just continue to kind of be inspiration points?
Yeah, to me, it's always really inspiring when you're helping someone with a tech problem and you can kind of see the light go on in their head. They have that aha moment and they realize, I can do this, and they have the confidence to move forward with learning. Oftentimes, older adults' biggest obstacle to using technology is just that they don't believe that they can do it. So I think sometimes just getting the ball rolling and getting them started is the biggest part. We all use technology differently. There's not necessarily a right or a wrong way to use technology, but I think we see people finding technology solutions to their problems pretty often.
So here at Oasis, we do have several technology classes and discussion opportunities, including Ask a Techie. And I know you do that weekly at both our Northwest Plaza and our Clayton locations. Additionally, we are doing that Social Media Basics Staying Connected in a Digital World class. So can you tell us a little bit more about what participants can gain from that course coming up?
Yeah, and so that's really an overview course about the popular social media platforms. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. We talk a little bit about each one, kind of what their purposes are, how those help you connect to those around you. And we also talk a lot about using those tools safely. We find a lot of times that people they have a little bit of hesitation to engage with modern technology because they're scared that it's a gateway to being scammed or something else. So a big part of what we teach in technology always, that kind of thread that weaves through all of it, is how to use it safely. And we want people to understand social media, what it can offer them, how it can keep them connected to the world around them, and how to do it safely.
Yeah, that's great. And I know we worked on that social media tip guide that our users had downloaded for this event. How does that tip guide help them after they take your course? How can they use that in the future?
Yeah, so there's a couple tip guides there. The first one is about Facebook scams. So we know Facebook is one of the most popular social media platforms for older adults, and there are a lot of scammers on Facebook. There are a lot of scammers everywhere, so we always have to be careful with them. But Facebook, there's a lot of ways that people can scam you. There are impersonation scams, sometimes even using AI to clone somebody's pictures or voice and make it seem like you're getting a request for money from someone legitimate. There are romance scams and all kinds of other things. So that really is just a handy, quick reference guide. People can take a look if they ever feel like anything's going on that they might be worried about scam-wise.
And I know we have a lot more exciting technology classes coming up, especially at our Northwest Plaza location. Can you walk me through some of those upcoming courses?
Yeah, we have at least one lecture course per month coming up here at Northwest Plaza for the rest of this year. And those are on a wide variety of topics. We've got Introduction to Digital Wallets, which talks about making mobile payments on an Android or Apple device and how to do that safely. We've got Digital Dollars, about managing your finances in an online world. In that class, we talk about online budgeting, online banking, and investment management. And again, how to do that safely. You're probably seeing a theme here. We also have Exploring the Internet, which is just a basic guide to how people can get on the internet and use it safely, and a few other things coming up here at Northwest Plaza, so it should be pretty exciting.
So safety is a big theme that's coming up in these classes. Is that one of the biggest concerns the participants have when they're coming into the classes, that, when it comes to internet it is a lot to take in, especially as it's evolving and safety is a big concern. Is that a common theme?
It is a common theme for us. It's really important that people, whatever tool you're using to get online, that you do it safely. I think that a lot of the education that's out there kind of gets it wrong because they talk so much about doing things safely that they scare people off from using the internet. And so we often find people not doing things like online banking because they're terrified of getting scammed. But we actually know that you're more likely to get scammed if you don't do online banking, because online banking gives you instant access to information, right? And so it's those kind of attitudes that sometimes we have to overcome.
Can you just explain how our viewers at home can find these classes and how they can register?
Yeah, so you could find these classes on our St. Louis Oasis website, which is st-louis.oasisnet.org. You can search under instructor for Jordan Carr, C-A-R-R, and all these classes will pop up. You can also look at all of our exciting technology classes. I have a wonderful team of volunteers that teaches topics on everything from computer basics to the cloud, to photo management, online photo book creation, and a bunch of other things. So we've got a ton of exciting technology classes. You can book online or you can call our office, 314-862-2933, and one of our helpful volunteers will be happy to sign you up.
Wonderful. And how often are the technology classes? I know we have Ask a Techie weekly. Do we have classes that swap out in the same cadence?
Yeah, so generally we have at least one technology class a week, besides Ask a Techie, and sometimes two. But a lot of that depends on my volunteer instructors because they're retired and a lot of them have a chance to do fun stuff like travel sometimes. So it can vary, but we do have a pretty consistent schedule.
And then when we're looking at our technology classes, what kind of new skills, insights, knowledge do you hope that our participants walk away with?
So I think the biggest thing that I would like is for people to just be more comfortable using technology to connect to the world around them. One of the things that I often say is that with technology, there's not necessarily always a right or a wrong answer, but it's about looking at things through the lens of our participants and what they want to accomplish, and then identifying those technological tools and strategies that will help them accomplish it. So it's very, very different for everyone. Some people come to see us and they just got a new smartphone and they would love to be able to learn how to text their friends. Some people come to us because they just want to learn more about using the cloud or using AI or more topical things. Some people come to us because they need a new solution for their old computer or things like that. So it really depends, but we hope that we're very useful to all the people that come see us.
Yeah, so it sounds like the people coming here have a very broad range of interest in what is bringing them into our doors.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe the average participant coming in? Do we typically see older participants? Is it a mix of everybody? Who are we welcoming into these technology courses?
Yeah, so generally our average technology participant is around 75 years old. We do have younger and we do have older, but that's about the average. And it really varies on people's level of tech skill and where they come from. We have some people who are very, very low tech skilled and they just want to learn the basics. Okay, I can't use the internet. How do I get on the internet? Or how do I set up a Facebook account? Like I said, how do I text my friends on my smartphone? Stuff like that. And then we have classes on more advanced solutions like advanced Android and iPhone classes for people that have had a device for a while and they just want to take the next step and learn how to do more cool tricks with it and maybe use it to make their life more efficient. So it really runs the gamut, but we're happy to help everyone, no matter where they're at.
That's wonderful. And so in that same vein, when it comes to mastering technology, what would you say some of the common myths are that the different participants coming in have? And how do you kind of debunk some of those myths?
And so a big myth that we deal with is that people say, well, I'm too old to figure out technology. I'm just an old person and we don't know how to use technology. That's a myth and that's their own attitude limiting them. So we always try to empower people. We do believe that older adults can do a lot of wonderful things, including use technology. So that's definitely a myth. The other thing is what I touched on earlier, things like online banking or accessing health information online. People are nervous to do that because they think that it's going to open them up to being scammed or getting their identity stolen or something. We try to teach people how to do those things in a safe way. And as long as we check all the boxes and we're doing things safely, it is perfectly safe to do those things online. In fact, it's probably safer.
Wonderful. And so when we do talk about AI, you bring up a really good point of it does sound kind of scary. It kind of sounds, robots are going to take over, something to that nature. So how are you helping debunk that? And why should we not be scared of AI?
Yeah, so I think people's biggest fear comes from the concept of the singularity. And that's basically the concept that once AI becomes smarter than us, it would take over the world. And instead of us being in control, the AI would be in control. Two things I would mention about that. Number one is the singularity is a purely theoretical concept at this point. We don't know if it will ever exist. And number two, even if it wasn't a purely theoretical concept, we don't have general purpose AI strong enough to do that yet, and we won't have it anytime soon. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would also say that any new technology that comes out, we need to learn what it is, how to spot it, and how to use it. Otherwise, we're going to fall behind. And so every time something new comes out, I don't know what the next new thing will be after AI, but it's important that we know what it is, we stay up with the trends, and we stay connected.
You've helped a lot of people in our communities here in St. Louis with learning these technologies, but have there been any like standout moments, anything that just you hold really close to your heart from these courses?
I think probably my first Ask a Techie class. So that program is something that went away during the pandemic, and we just brought it back. I think in mid 2023, we brought that program back. And so the first few times I went out in the field and helped people with that, it was just really powerful because you kind of got the feeling that these were people that didn't have a lot of help in life, and a lot of people that would pay attention to them and listen to their problems. And so they were really opening up to me, and I knew that they were feeling the connection there. So was I. So it was kind of beautiful.
That's really great. And I know Ask a Techie is something that you do twice a week. Is that right? Can you just tell us a little bit more about that course?
Yeah, so Ask a Techie is really open format tech help, where you bring us your device and we will help you with it. And it could be anything from a smartphone, Apple or Android, tablet, PC. It could be, we've had some cameras come in, smartwatches, any kind of smart device. I've helped someone with a smart fridge before. So really anything that people need help with. And we find oftentimes that's a good entryway into Oasis technology for people, because sometimes they just need that kind of foundational basis of how to use and access technology before the other classes really make a lot of sense too.
That's wonderful. And are there any exciting new courses or initiatives on the horizon at Oasis that you're really excited about?
Yeah, so a lot of the classes that I'm teaching upcoming at Northwest Plaza are totally brand new concepts, and I'm very excited about that. The other things that we've added recently are we now have a full course and full curriculum for Mac OS, which is not something we ever had before, but now we have that. And my volunteers are really creative and amazing, and oftentimes they come up with class ideas. I always tell them to run with it because I think they're the ones that really run the program. So if you keep an eye out in upcoming catalogs, you'll see a lot of new, exciting, and interesting things coming in tech.
Wonderful. And if somebody's on the fence about taking an Oasis course, what would you say to them?
I would say you really have nothing to lose. You should come try it out. We have a lot to offer. It's really fun. It's a chance to meet people, to get out of the house, to socialize. We also have a ton of classes, not just technology, where you can learn some really interesting things. And we know that keeping your brain and body active as you age is one of the most important things for staying independent. And that is our goal for everyone. So we really hope you come and see us.
Great. And I know you mentioned Northwest Plaza is where some of the technology classes are. I want to just take a minute and talk about that. Northwest Plaza is our newest location. We had our grand opening last year. Can you tell us a little bit more about what is exciting on the horizon here at Northwest Plaza?
Yeah, so we're really excited about Northwest Plaza. Before the pandemic started, we really got into North County in a major way, and we had several program sites everywhere from North City all the way over to Florissant. The pandemic really paused a lot of that momentum. And then we had a chance to move offices, and we got this wonderful space here at Northwest Plaza. So I'm really, really excited that it gives us access to more people more conveniently in a different area of town. We know North City and North County are often places where people need more help, and so this gives us easier access to them. But also we've got a whole lot of people who live across the river in St. Charles, and this is super convenient for them. So I'm just really excited that we were able to bring the Oasis mission out here. Gives people more options, makes it easier for people to come see us.
If you could leave our viewers with one key message about the importance of learning new technologies, what would that be?
That would be that it's really important to stay connected to the world around you. We know that being socially isolated has the same impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So technology is one of the major ways we can stay connected. I think that's very important, and it will help you live a longer, happier, healthier life.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jordan. We do have those social media basic classes coming up on March 24th. We do have those for both in-person and hybrid. And you can find those classes at our Oasis website by searching social media basics or Jordan Carr as the instructor.